Post-game press conference with New Mexico State head men's basketball coach Chris Jans. A lot of offense tonight in El Paso. Coach, just kind of take us through this one from the full 40 minutes against California Baptist tonight.
Yeah, way too much offense for the Lancers. We didn't defend them very well. We knew it was going to be a challenge heading into the game. They're very capable on offense, and they have so many good shooters on the floor at one time. And then Gak, number 12, you add him to the mix, and now they can throw it to him and score around the basket. Or if you choose to double, they can kick it out and get you in rotations and have a lot of guys that can shoot it. So it's a pick your poison game, and we certainly picked wrong tonight. We just couldn't guard them. Tried some pressing, tried some zone, which they don't see a lot of zone because of how prolific shooters they have. But we just couldn't get the game in our direction, except for the start. Again, we had a good start, a little bit longer, sustained start than in past, but they beat us in a lot of facets of the game tonight.
Coach, you said after or heading into game 2 of the Grand Canyon game that the message was just for the team to find a way. Is that sort of the similar message in the locker room after this one?
I haven't got there yet. Still licking my wounds. Obviously, just got back to the hotel. We'll break the film down and try to come up with a better way. I haven't addressed the team yet. Certainly did in the locker room, but a little more so once they get the rehab and food in them, and then we'll meet as a group, and coaches will stay up and try to figure something out and try to, I think the sun will come up tomorrow, and we'll have to have the right attitude or it won't get any better.
Coach, what do you feel like the team is missing right now? For three games into WAC play.
Game experience. Can't replicate it in practice. It's a tough situation. If you knew everything that has been going on within our program, you wouldn't believe it. We just can't get a break. Nothing is going our way, and even in the games, we get a steal and we're about to throw it head for a big basket, and they get a foul, and it was a foul, or we have a breakout and we just make a silly play. But I thought tonight, pretty evident, our offense had a little more rhythm, a little more flow. We shared the ball a little more. It looked better, definitely better than any other games that we played in over 40 minutes. But defensively, we just couldn't sustain our level of play. We show flashes, 4 or 5 possessions in a row, or a couple minutes here, but we just can't sustain the level of play on both ends of the floor that's required to beat good teams. And we've got to get better. We've got to figure it out. We've got to have some resolve, and we've got to learn from our mistakes. And, we've got to figure out a way to sustain the level of play that's required to win. So at least, we'll have, more good video to show them of, hey, we just got to keep coming. You just can't relax. You got to keep coming at them. You just never, you have to guard against those 5 or 6 plays that always change a game. And you got to guard against them all the time, and you never know when they're coming. And you just, you got to be on edge all the time. You got to be urgent all the time. You got to be an edge all the time. And we're not there. We're just not. I didn't think it was a total lack of effort. I thought some guys played really hard. I don't think everybody did. And that's not what we're used to, and that's disappointing. We had some individuals, in my opinion, that didn't play as hard as they know they need to. And where we're at, we just can't have that. We just can't have that. We can't survive that. And we got to get it rectified.
Coach, the Lancers went to the line 18 times. Fouls obviously still being a problem. What are things you hope to work on that before the next game?
I would say maybe 4 of those were definitely down the stretch. So I don't think the difference was as glaring as it looks at the end of the game stat sheet with us fouling them. But they got more paint touches than we did. They drove that ball in there and put us in a position where we're going to help off the big or try to make the guard make the play, and they spread that court with the shooters and you can't come off them very well. And they were in rhythm. They were in rhythm. We didn't do a good job of getting them out of rhythm. And then, as you can see, if you leave them open, it's money. They shoot the cover off the ball, and they've been doing it all year long, and we knew it going in. And the thing that probably impressed me more than anything was the physicality of their players. It's hard to see that on film sometimes until you play them up close and personal. And, they've got some guys that, have been around. Raul had the injury last year, but you could tell he was a tough, gritty player 2 years ago. And then the Australian freshmen have grown up and they beefed up their bodies, and they've had Division I strength training. And then, they've added the transfers, Thomas, Gak, and Carbone, and they know who they are. They only play about 7 guys, but they know who they are. They don't try to do things they're not capable of doing. They're very well coached, and they're a good team.
Coach, you mentioned not being able to catch a break. You guys were starting to chip away at that deficit in the second half, and Jabari Rice goes down. Just how much did that really take the wind out of your guys' sails a bit?
Yeah, it didn't help. He obviously played a little bit better. I'm not even sure what the injury is. I think that's his heel, if I'm not mistaken. But he was limping around, off the bus into the hotel, so it didn't look good. And I'll sit down with our trainer here at some point tonight and figure out where he's at and where we're at. But he's one of the guys that we need to play well. He's got experience and an all-league player, and he looks more and more like himself. But he tweaks, he gets injured, tweaks his ankles more than we'd like, and it definitely slows him down a little bit. And then, like you said tonight, he was out of the game in the second half when we were trying to make a run, and certainly would have been nice to have him on the floor.
Chris, is there any concern about – I know you guys haven't had a lot of time to practice and you haven't played a lot of games, but is there any concern about the confidence with some of the guys going forward as these kind of struggles happen?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I don't like to speak for my players, but, I don't think we have confidence issues. Maybe. I don't think so. Like the last game we were talking about, can the Aggies shoot the ball? Can we score the ball? And my answer was, yeah, we can. We just haven't. We made enough shots tonight. We made our free throws for the most part. We didn't get to the line as much as we'd like, but we knocked down some threes and shot a pretty good percent from the field. Tonight was just, we couldn't stop them. We plug one hole and another one would open up, and credit to them. They just kept coming and kept making shots, and we tried different things throughout the game. We changed our game plan. We tried some adjustments, and they had an answer for everything that we did. So credit to them. They played well, and we knew they were good. It wasn't like we were surprised by anything they did. We just couldn't get over the hump.
Anything else for Coach tonight, guys? Okay. In that case, hearing none, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chris and Charlie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.